right, welcome in this week. Glad that you're here. Today we're going to be talking about the secret to truly transform your life. How do we get those changes that we know we need to make to be permanent, lasting changes? Hopefully, we'll share a mindset today with you to help you with that. First, I would love for you to like and subscribe and then share this video. It's going to help us grow. And then another thing is please subscribe to our newsletter, Rev Up Your Life, Responsibility, Excellence, and Virtue. We're going to put a link in the bottom that you can sign up for the Rev here this week. Let me share the key to my coaching principle. We go really deep and we really refine everything down to this one thing. The key to behavior change goes to proper valuing. Yes, that's right. Valuing yourself properly is the key to making permanent, lasting, good, healthy changes for you in your life. You see, every person behaves based on what they value. So one way we can look at this is, do you do anything that you don't want to do? I would say for most of us, we do lots of things that we don't want to do constantly. What gives us the motivation and the drive to do the things that we do not want to do on a daily basis? Maybe people work in a job that they don't like. Maybe when you want to go to sleep, you study. And I think it's because we are valuing the things that we get from them. We need them so much that we're willing to do whatever it takes to do that. So for instance, you may go to a job and you work hard, so you get that paycheck gives you everything you need. So you're valuing that work, even though you don't want to do it, worth more than not doing those things. All right, and so you can see that everybody is acting out what they're valuing all the time. Now, I think this is happening very much whether you are aware of it or not, that what you do most of the time is, not 100% of the time, but most of the time what you do is based on what you value. And so if we can really go to that core principle and we can connect to that, I think we can find very, very positive and lasting changes. Can be something that will come into your life when you switch your perception of who you are created to be fundamentally. Another thing with this principle I wanted to show you kind of in the positive is, what would you be willing to do if you were given $1 million as a reward at the end? Could you eat a certain diet for a month? I would say yes. I would say 99% of you would say, sign me up for that. I'll eat almost any diet for that type of reward. And so when the cost is right, when you are valuing properly, you instantly find the inspiration, not the motivation. Motivation's temporary, but you are inspired from within to act towards your goal. So what we want to do is harness your own inspiration in your life. You see, again, we talked about it last week. You have to take responsibility for your own journey. I can't do this for you, nor am I going to tell you what you should be doing. Instead, I want you to be empowered to create your own life, to create lasting changes that you want for yourself through proper valuing. You see, in my coaching, I'm going to ask you one thing. I'm going to ask you to create the highest and the best vision for your life and to radically chase after that. And I don't see that anything than chasing after the highest good, after chasing after God, the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness. That's what we want to set our sights on. That's what we want to aim at in life. The highest possible good, not only for yourself, but also for the others around you. And I think if we'll harness that principle, we'll find a lot of power in our life to create the lasting changes from within inside of us, to draw us into finding the power to make difficult changes. But we're going to see that they will be worth it, that they will be greater to make the change than the temporary pleasure we may receive in the moment back from that. You see, I've learned over time from a lot of mistakes that I've made in life that my wrong choices have been me compromising what is highest and best for me, what's most godly, yes. And as I compromise myself, as I compromise what is highest and best, what the will of God would be for my life, when I take shortcuts, when I try to take control, and when I compromise that, I find myself making dumb decisions. All right, so hopefully I'm not alone in that. Maybe you've made some dumb decisions in your life. I know I make them constantly. Hopefully try to learn and grow from them. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. So I'm on this journey with you very big time, right? There's a lot of work I got to do on myself, but I'm constantly chasing after that highest possible good, not only for me, but for everyone around me? How can I be a blessing to the world? How can I create blessing not only for myself, but for other people? You see, I think that is very important as we chase the highest good, that it's not a selfish endeavor only. Now, what serves you should serve others as well. So you see, information doesn't change us. It can, but it's a slower process. And so how do we transform? Is by changing our perception of who we are and really fundamentally feeling different about who we are. And so what I want each and every one of you to know is that you are a royal son or daughter of God, that you have been given a high calling, and in fact, you are created to be the temple of God's Holy Spirit. You are created for communion with the very power of the divine God, and the church is the embodiment of God's activity on the earth. And so when you understand who you are properly, I want you to change the way you feel about yourself and change the way that you see and perceive who God made you to be. And when you understand these things properly, I hope it begins to help you to value yourself. Value not only yourself, but more value the creation that God made and the divine soul and responsibility that He has given every one of us, so that we can take care of ourselves, that we can chase our divine purpose, and that we can create communities of blessing, that we love one another deeply, and we create and build the kingdom of heaven through that proper perspective. You see, we talked about responsibility, excellence, and virtue being the markers of a good life. A few other things that help us to understand what is the highest and the best are what is beautiful, what is true, and what is good. And all these things take a lot of time to understand them fully, but just want to put those out for you today, that these things are markers for what we want to do in order to chase what is the best for our life. And the highest of all of these is love. And so again, this is not a selfish journey, but instead, we want to be people of love. We want to take care of one another. We want to think what is best for me and what is best for all the people that I will interact today. And when we do that, we'll value ourselves properly, and then our actions will be a reflection of what we believe and perceive and how we feel about the divine being that God has put into each and every one of us. And so you have been entrusted with that divine gift. And with it, I hope that you can value yourself highly. And what we want to value most highly is God above all things. You see, there's nothing worth more than God. And if we'll all build our societies together around that God, what is holy, is worth more than anything. What is good, what is holy, what is loving is worth more than anything. If we'll have that understanding, I believe that we can start to build communities, greater societies, communities of love, the kingdom of heaven. All right, that's what we want to do. So that's the key to the principle this week, is your actions will be a reflection of what you value. You want to change your value system in order to get those long-lasting changes that you want. In order to really do that, I believe it's a change of perception to know who you really are, that you are made in the image of God, that you're a miracle. You're a gift to this world. You're a gift. Your special gifts can be used to be a blessing for others, and that we want to love and build the kingdom of heaven together. This week, I'm going to encourage you to take responsibility for your life, pursue excellence, and grow in virtue.